CNN's Jim Acosta has had his White House press pass restored by a judge at the end of last week, and the folks in the White House are not too happy about that, specifically Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Now, Sarah Huckabee Sanders went on Fox News Friday evening to talk about Acosta getting his press pass back. And luckily for her, she was interviewed by her own father, who happened to be filling in for Sean Hannity that night. Here is what Sarah Huckabee had to say about Jim Acosta. I think the very basic minimum is that if certain reporters like Jim Acosta can't be adults, then CNN needs to send somebody in there who can be. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has a problem with grown men not acting like adults. And if that is true, then she has misdirected all of her anger right here, because Jim Acosta is not the person in the White House who is not acting like an adult. Donald Trump, 2 days after Sarah Huckabee Sanders bemoaned the lack of adults in Washington, D.C., called Democratic Representative Adam Schiff Little Adam Shit. That's what he called him, Little Adam Shit. Jim Acosta, when he had his press pass revoked, was trying to ask the president a question. Now, which one of those sounds like the grown-up in the room? Which one of those sounds like a human being who's actually doing their job? The guy who calls a representative, mispronounces his last name or mistypes it on purpose and calls him shit? Or the guy trying to ask a question because it is his job as a White House reporter to ask that question? Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and pretty much anyone at Fox News, including her own father, Mike Huckabee, that allows her to spread this propaganda, is part of the problem. There are people in the White House who are not acting like adults and don't even know how to act like adults. But unfortunately for Huckabee Sanders, it's not any of the people sitting there in that press pool trying to do their job. It's the guy that she works for. It's herself. She also lashes out at reporters for just asking questions. Again, that's what those people are there for. That's why we have these press conferences and the press briefings. That is literally the purpose of them, yet this infantile administration cannot bring themselves to properly do it. And instead of owning up to the fact that we're too weak to sit and answer your questions, they want to turn around and blame those people. They want to strip him of his press pass. Now, I don't care if you agree with CNN or you hate CNN or you love CNN. Stripping the press pass from Acosta was wrong by every stretch of the imagination, including on the legal side. And that's why it was restored. But I will say this against the press. If they had any credibility, if they had any scruples, if they had any integrity, no single member from any single outlet in this country would ever show up to a Donald Trump press conference or a Sarah Huckabee Sanders press briefing ever again. Let them walk into an empty room and then be forced to turn around and walk out because nobody wants to put up with their crap anymore. That is the best thing that the media could do today.